But anyway, he takes out a couple other items and just boxes that have items and says, alright, well, that's all of that. Walks over to Areem. I think it's time to do a couple upgrades while everyone else sleeps, and then we can go sleep when we're all done with Zephyr here.
Hold on a sec.
Yes?
You said this hat needs to charge?
Oh, yes. I have that ordered from Gnome. I still have to file papers 1044 and 39P in order to get it approved, but we might be able to get you a magical item recharging kit. But I still have to go through all the legal paperwork, considering you're not gnomes.
Okay. Okay, never mind.
Mostly because I don't want to waste my time recharging your stuff. You know, I'm not really here for that.
Actually, Gnarl.
Yes.
Did you recharge my bow by chance?
When the kit comes in, yes. I mean, could I right now? Sure. But,
Will you?
no.
Thought I'd ask.
Especially not with what we have to do soon. He kind of does that whole fingers tapping against other fingers while looking at Zephyr.
Oh my.
Not that fingers tap against other fingers tape.
Zephyr, Areem, where is the best place to do an operation on someone here? Sorry, my voice. A upgrade on an individual.
I don't know. We've normally done it here. Because that's what I've done for his eyes.
He's gonna want to lay down for this.
Maybe upstairs?
It may be strapped out.
Lead the way. The three of us have work to do.
I literally mean just like straight up the stairs. We don't have much furniture up there.
Anywhere I can strap him down.
Can you strap him to the floor?
No, but if you have a bed with bedposts, that could work.
Might have to move one of the beds for this, but upstairs would still be best.
Well, lead the
Either
way.
that or one of the tables in the dining hall at the main hall.
That is true. He looks at Areem. Then we wouldn't bother their sleep.
So I'm guessing this means I have to be powered on for this?
Well, I have to know if you stay alive or not.
Good point.
Don't worry, you'll only feel a little pain.
Some kind of bit of excruciating pain.
The
I've probably been through
excruciating
something similar
comes
before.
later. But that's Gnome. That's not me.
Are these trans-dimensional communication eyes?
No.
Oh.
So, which area is Areem gonna take them to? The just a
They're
bed
meme
and make
eyes.
these guys have to listen, or the guild hall?
We'll head to the main guild hall.
All right, Jared, I want you to make me 10 fort saves. Just write them down in order. And then Kelb, I want you to make 10 Warforged craft saves and write those down in order. And while you guys make those rolls, what do the other 4 characters do?
Well, I'm planning on going to bed, so I'm just gonna sleep like a log. I'm just gonna lay down, press the pendant, turn to wood.
And he never wakes up again.
Before he goes to bed, someone wake me up later. Tuzin's probably gonna take the plate of bacon back in and then head up to go to bed himself.
Where is Jade going? Because he's just lying right there.
Right there,
Guys
more
can
or
sleep
less.
on the table.
Oh, so he's not even sleeping somewhere. He's just standing and falling asleep as the wood.
I mean, I tried to get him to lay down, but I don't have the tools for that.
Avena's gonna head to bed too.
You want that
Perfect.
laying down stone statue? Okay. So Avina goes to bed?
Yep.
Okay. And Lamb, what about Perthros?
He's going to go grab food and then come out here for a bit and then go upstairs. Keep going through the journals.
Okay. I mean, this is going to take longer than how long he's probably going to read, so if you want to just put him in bed then. Now then, for the first roll, Jared, what did you get?
20.
Okay. Kelp?
23.
All right. Second, Jared?
13.
Kelp?
14.
I'll just swap back and forth, but every time I go to you, just go to the next one. Jared?
19.
Kelp?
7.
All right. Jared, the fourth one?
21.
Kelp?
20.
All right, there we go. Let me go and roll these real quick. All right, Jared?
6.
Kelp?
21.
Jared?
21.
Kelp?
25.
Jared?
11.
Kelp?
15.
Jared?
What was the last one I read?
21, I think.
11.
Oh, no, it was 11, I think.
Okay, 6.
Kelp?
23.
Jared?
7.
Kelp?
24.
Oh, you just saved it. Okay. So, with everything done, I'll tell you what all it was later, but the group is able to go back and go to their resting spots when they get back. Again, as far as the bonuses go and whatever else, I'll tell you later. But in short, you guys added some sort of tubing and liquid thing inside of Zephyr, replaced his eyes and a couple other pieces, and made him a more complete model. But when the three get back, they see a wooden jade laying on the floor. Areem, you are tired.
I'll just be heading up to bed.
Okay.
Glancing
What?
at the jade as I go by and just ignoring it.
Okay. What does Zephyr do?
I will probably ask Gnarl. It's like, so when does this get excruciating?
Do you mean when it starts to hurt a lot?
Yeah, just in case I want to be away from public when that happens.
That's when we turn you into a synthetic mortal, where you're just like a Warforged, but we use organic pieces. Because the organic parts get connected to your magical brain thing, and you feel all the pain. Do you remember being mortal?
Yeah, so we're kind of working our way backwards.
Yes and no. Here, I can't tell you everything.
Externally?
Kinda. I can't tell you everything that Gnome had planned, but in short, it was to turn you into this, do what he was going to do, and slowly use you as the prototype model to create what we tried to do with magic but failed, but magic tech might work. But it's taken us a lot longer, caused a couple wars, a lot of people died, which is kind of ironic. But the end goal is to basically be organic Warforged. In other words, you'd be like a human, but you don't die. And you don't need to sleep or eat.
Okay then.
Don't worry about it. It's definitely not for making some sort of army. Anyway, he pulls out a paintbrush, says red into it, and walks over to Jade. And spends the next while painting Jade. Jade? Noah?
Mm-hmm.
When he's in that form, he doesn't sleep.
Fuck.
He's witnessing Gnarl just painting him.
I'm probably
feels the tiredness, but his body won't let him sleep.
I'm
I'll
gonna
probably
be
spend the night
fatigued as all
examining my new
fuck
parts.
tomorrow.
Up on his couch.
Yeah.
Okay. After a while goes by, Gnarl just is looking down at you, smiling. Says, clean. Into the brush, and it becomes clean. Puts it into his bag, pulls out a mirror, and holds it to you. And you look essentially like a clown. He painted you goofy looking. And goes, well, since you didn't want to sleep tonight and you just wanted to be made of wood, I'm gonna respect your wishes and let you do that, and we will see you in the morning. And he leaves. And goes and sleeps in a bed. Jade, for the next almost 8 hours, is staring at a ceiling,
I have-
unable to move.
I have no mouth, and I must scream.
Can you roll me a willpower, Noah?
Modded 20.
Can you roll me another? And then one more after that one. Unless you do bad.
19.
Okay, one more.
14.
Oof. Most of the night goes by fine, but by the end of the night, the sun is starting to rise, the light hits the windows and hits the ceiling, and he's been staring into darkness for most of the night. And by this point now, the light making the shadows slowly move has made him now begin to more or less daydream just his own imaginary scenario of the wooden ceiling above him being a landscape and him a bird, and he's watching as things move on it. As morning time comes around, Gnarl is the first to wake up, looks down at you, smiles, and sits on a chair with a plate of bacon. Zephyr, you watched Gnarl leave and go downstairs.
I'll kind of just ignore him.
Okay. So you continue to sit there. After a few minutes, everyone else is able to wake up. The sun has finally started to seep into the rooms, and you are able to awaken. First thing Perthro sees as he comes downstairs is a wooden jade clown.
Yeah, don't know why you thought that was a good idea. Then I'm gonna poke the amulet and just go and grab some food.
Every muscle on Jade's body loosens. He can move again.
You immediately hear a car.
Gnarl throws a piece of bacon over his shoulder. Give me a second. Let's roll, landing it right on Jade's mouth.
Nom. 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 He's gonna get up. I'd even pay attention to that you fucking got drawed on and just eat a little bacon and then go upstairs and go to bed.
Okay. As far as got drawed on, he didn't get drawed on. His entire body is covered in paint. Every bit of him. Like house paint. Paint.
Is it dry?
It's dry, so it's cracking as he walks upstairs. You're just flaking paint as you go to bed. Jared Zephyr sees the weirdest thing. A man walk upstairs, fully painted, with bits of paint flaking off of him as he walks.
Are you sure you don't want a bath?
Sleep.
Tate? Tate? Did Tate fall asleep?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you fall? Did you
Sorry.
fall asleep in real life?
No.
Oh, okay. What does Avina do? Avina, Tucson, and Areem are all able to wake up.
Avena's gonna go down and... she's still wearing the dress. She's probably gonna practice formalities and probably use her book to talk to, Lion Boy.
In her room or downstairs?
Downstairs.
Okay, when she gets out into the main hallway, she sees a trail, a lightly powdered trail. It's not like everywhere. Bits of paint flaked from door to door.
You know what? After what we did yesterday, not even gonna ask. She says that out loud.
Okay. Well, she gets down here, sits down, eats while writing in her book. Noah, does Tucson get up?
Yep.
Okay. Kelb, does Areem get up?
Sorry that took so long,
Yeah.
by the way. I was pressing the wrong button for some reason.
Do they both go downstairs and join breakfast, or what do they do?
Tucson's gonna take notice of the trail leading from Jade to the door, and then follow it down, right to where he kind of stayed. They'll have him clean that up whenever he wakes up.
He'll have him clean up the mess. That's technically not his fault.
It's exactly his fault. He thought it was a good idea to turn into wood with fucking gnome around who uses the wand for shits and giggles. That's never a good idea.
Fair. And then Areem's gonna spend some time reading.
Yep.
Alright. Well, morning goes by. Jade gets some sleep. I'm assuming Perthros is reading just like Areem is, so you guys get your reading in. Zephyr's doing his practicing. Tucson, Gnarl, and Avina are able to Lamb died. Are able to eat and whatnot. So I'll go to you real quick, Tate. And what's Avina writing?
Well, she's gonna be catching up, all the happenings that have been going on lately and how she misses him and how he lives in... Wait, does Avina know about the place?
Not really.
The portal? She never visited it? Okay. Never mind then. Scratch that last one.
What are you talking about now?
The portal to where Lion Man lives that's still open.
It's not still open. And
closed,
it wasn't a
okay.
portal to there.
Alright.
So she's just writing about that.
She's writing about, like, you know, how things have been and saying that she, for some reason, well, not for some reason, but she misses him.
Gotcha. It takes a little while, and he goes, "You flatter me too much," is what he writes back. To the, missing part.
Oh.
Then, Gnarl looks over at Avina and goes, "Oh, by the way, since you're probably going to be the closest one to, talking to Mr. Lael," he hands her a, pendant. "I'm going to need you to give this to him.
Oh.
Don't do anything with it."
Okay.
It will open a portal to his homeworld. And since he's spending the time here, and your friend Perthros had made the portal, I put it inside of this locket, or inside of this pendant, and he will be the owner of it. So in the meantime, it's yours. And you give it to him when you see him, when you inevitably go home.
Will he be able to come back?
Come back?
Yeah, to, visit.
The city?
Yeah. Or just, this plane.
He's not leaving the plane. He's going to be the guardian of the portal. And currently
Oh.
he's inside of your home city. You know,
Alrighty.
your home city, the one with all the other mutations that my kind made, that we fused you and human and animal and whatnot. None of that rings a bell of other yous?
How loud is he saying this, by the way?
That's
Loud
not.
enough that Perthros hears.
God damn it, there's more?
It does not, but I'm going to have to look into it, because it keeps coming up, and I keep having this strange feeling that I need to go there. And it's totally not just slapping me in the face or anything, but it sounds like my upbringing as, a magic accident. It's not necessarily true.
Well, sure. I mean, your origin's kind of a magic accident, but that's your whole people's.
It's probably a good idea to know where you're from if you're gonna be working, Miss Ambassador.
That is true. Although the embassy does like me. They've taken a liking to me.
Nara looks over at Zephyr. Wait, she doesn't even know the place? She didn't realize not only does she not know she came from there, but she doesn't even know of it? He looks back at you. What's wrong with you?
I had amnesia when I was a kid. The earliest memory is actually Perthros.
I pop my head around the corner.
Crying.
Wait, you mean I didn't make her?
He looks at Perthros. Heavens no.
It's a fucking miracle!
Her
There
people,
is a god!
her people are the people we made, just like we kinda made some other people. I mean, to be fair, we made ourselves first. And, oh wait, that's right, you guys don't know any of this. Really old gnomes had an island, and they fused things together. And made her. He was saying this to Perthros.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, when Perthros said that, he basically ran down the hall.
Oh,
He's
okay.
very joyous right now.
Then, as he left, he continued to say that then towards the room.
But, yeah, essentially, all this doesn't ring a bell, but it's starting to pique
I
my
see.
interest.
So what you're saying then, he looks at you, is you haven't realized yet that technically my people are kind of like your people's gods.
Well,
We made you.
as far
He's
as
pointing his finger at you. We made you.
as far as I can tell, your people are kind of insane. But
Listen,
in a good way.
Avina, it's
So-
fine. They made
Insanity-
me too.
Insanity and genius are just part of the same coin. It's not our fault we decided to have both sides of it. Technically, it is our fault, but that's not the point.
She points to her tails, her multi-tails. Just saying. I mean, I know this is my fault, but because the dice, but you made the dice. Well, Gnome made the dice, but Insane in a good way. I like the tales.
True. And to be fair, Gnome's a pioneer of our race. He's, unique.
Well, eventually I'm gonna need coordinates for this but not coordinates. Not coordinates. Why would she say coordinates? Eventually,
Technically,
I'm going
that's still
to
not
need,
wrong.
Directions?
directions to where this island is because, yeah, I'm going there at some point.
You'll need more than directions. You'll need coordinates, and you'll need a means. And honestly, when you go there, you might not be coming back for quite some time. And it would be a venture that you'd probably have to tell your friends goodbye for a while.
She holds her book out. Would you be able to write them down?
I could, but you wouldn't understand it. Tell me, do you know what
She
a
doesn't understand
latitude
much.
is?
I don't, but it sounds like the book might.
Do
The
you
book might know
know
directions at least.
Do you know where? Let's see. How can I word it? Do you know how close you are to the middle of the planet's radius?
No.
Right.
The book
well, I
might
kind
know.
of made that up.
The book is smart.
But doesn't matter.
The book is a genius. At least according to Zephyr over there. Zephyr says the book holds a lot of information and deciphers a lot.
So,
Well, it should.
Did I say that?
It should. It does have an artificial soul that we created, and then that Oxman was altered, and then we forced it. Right, and then we forced it inside of that book, kind of enslaving it. Really, when you think about it, you've got a slave.
So it would be able to tell me though where, in my terms, it'd be able to tell me where these things, where it's at. If you wrote it down.
Maybe.
I'm sad I lost my opportunity to be a smartass.
Is she just gonna float over the fact that he just pointed out that the book, in his personal opinion, is you own a slave?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Doesn't
As far
mean
as she can tell, it's a book. She's never used
right.
it.
Doesn't mean your character has to view it that way, but that's how his character views it.
Well, she's only used it for messaging, so as far as she can tell, it's just a message boy. It's a paper golem.
He motions for you to hand him the book.
Guys.
He writes in it a bit, gets close so that no one can see what he's writing, presses his head against the book, lifts it up, writes a little bit more in it, and then hands it back to you, and there is a list of instructions, a list of details, and a map, more or less, that is all telling you how to get there via boat, as well as how to get there via teleportation. The teleportation one, oddly enough, is way, way longer. And also involves gnomish paperwork, which in and of itself is a paragraph worth of forms that have to be filled out. Like,
And
it's like,
I'm guessing the
you need to
island
fill out
probably has a
form,
teleportation.
blah, 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 blah. What was that?
I'm guessing the island probably has a teleportation stone on it.
That what does?
The Beast Island has like the Elvish teleportation stone circle.
I never said it's Elvish.
Not Elvish, but the one that we have, the Elvish
Gotcha.
district.
Maybe. They could be from two different technological advanced stages, different points in time, and then maybe one was older than the other and forgotten and not used. To you, it's all mumbo jumbo bullshit. You don't understand any of it. The most you understand is the
She more
map.
cares about the boats. The boat
Right.
travel.
The most you understand on there is the map, basically. And even then, you're like, Jesus, it's so far away. I didn't even think there was anything out there. I thought that was just open ocean.
That is really far away. Avina's gonna close the book and shake the gnome's hand. Like, thank you for uncovering literally a mystery that's eluded me for the longest time that I've tried to avoid, but now don't want to avoid. Now, if you excuse me, I've got some rats to feed and also to make probably food in celebration.
Okay. Again, keep in mind that to
You
get
are
there by land and sea, you will be spending years of travel. I don't think you're going to see your
Understandable.
friends for a while, if ever again.
understandable, and you are more than welcome to stay for dinner. I'm guessing, has Gnome told him about her cooking?
No,
I have a feeling Gnome knows about her cooking for some reason.
probably.
Considering, Noah kind of gave the construct a taste of it, and it got sent back to the past, so, technically all of the past got a look at Navina's cooking.
Yeah, they probably thought it was just vomit. Anyway,
They have
so-
Balasar there, so he might be able to say, no, that's actually, someone made that.
yeah, probably. So she goes upstairs, feeds her rats, and then goes and cooks?
Yep.
Okay, is she gonna say anything as she passes past Areem or no?
She is. Areem, I might know where I'm from, and eventually I'm gonna be going there. It's really far, though, like, off our current maps. Far away.
I'm just gonna ignore it.
Marcus?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Changing one of the books in the bookshelf because you couldn't actually see what was in it like all the other books.
Hey.
Anyway, Areem's. Oh, how long does he read? I mean, I understand he's got a lot of books now, but still, just asking.
Noonish?
Okay. Well, Vina leaves to go and cook. Once she leaves, Gnarl just reaches in, looking at Tucson, pulls out a plate, reaching his bag again, pulls out a plate platter lid thing, puts it on top of it, deans it, lifts it up, and there's a nice meal in there. Looks at Tucson and goes, "Did you want something that's good?" Noah?
Sorry, what was that?
Gnarl made himself a plate of food and asked if you wanted some.
Sure.
Alright. He reaches in, grabs out a plate, puts it in front of you, puts the plate cover on, taps the part on it to make it dean, lifts it up, and there's exactly what he would want to eat at that exact moment in front of him. Just like Gnome had inside of his house.
Lots and lots of toast.
Sure. I lied, Tate. Gnarl absolutely knows about Avina's cooking and said, fuck it. So they continue to eat. It gets to be about noon. Around or so. So they're eating lunch around this time. Or brunch, I guess, rather. Does Areem head downstairs to join the party?
Is it noonish?
Yeah.
Then yes.
So he heads down. Tate, can I have you roll me 4 cooking checks?
Okay.
And you see Gnarl and Tucson eating food. Gnarl looks over at you. Hungry?
Over at me?
No, at Areem.
Yeah, just a bit.
Well, Avina's making food. Look what she made. Pointing at Tucson and his plate. Roll me a...
Hey, it's better than a regular food.
Roll me a sense motive, real quick. What'd you get?
20. Natural.
He's lying. You can tell by the shit-eating grin that he's got on his face when he said Avina made it.
I'll choose to believe him. For now. Going over to join at the table.
Okay. Tate, what'd you get on your rolls?
Better than a regular cooking. 8, 8, 18, and 5.
8, 8, 18, and 5?
Yep.
Alright. Well, bring out food, tell us what it is. The vast majority of it is mediocre. Part of it is superb, and part of it is very lackluster. It is very
Is this
not that
breakfast,
good.
lunch, or dinner?
Brunch.
Brunch? Okay. Was thinking of a side of chopped up fruits. The main dish is going to be delicious bread with cheese and meats between bread. So, in other words, a sandwich. It's her specialty. She's learned to garnish her plates with some of the bacon, just because she knows people like the bacon. And as for drink, probably just some water, but some Everclear for Cal.
Okay. Which part of it is superb?
The fruit salad.
And what part of it is lackluster? It's not mediocre. It's not make you gag, but it's very... ugh. Kind of like if you ate the same kind of Pop-Tart every morning for 6 years straight. Eventually you can stomach it, but you just be like, ugh.
Probably the sandwich.
We'll say the
She
bread.
probably
she
used older-
she used old
older
bread.
meat.
No, not old meat.
Or old
That'd
bread.
actually be old bread. It's not moldy, but it is stale and it is hard.
She just calls it artisan bread to compensate.
Right. Do you say anything to Perthros as you walk out?
Perthros, I made food. You should eat some. It's really good. I promise.
I already ate today. Thank you, though.
Not even the delicious fruit salad? I made that side just for you.
I mean,
I know you like fruit.
I've always been a light eater, so no, I'm already good for a while.
So when she walks past, doing probably her typical okay, she sees Areem sitting there, not with any food yet, but she sees that Tucson has a plate of bacon and toast, and Gnarl has a plate with a half-eaten steak and potatoes. And then they both have drinks. Gnarl looks over at you with a mouthful, with an expression of like, oh shit, she came out early. How does she react, Tate?
That's okay. There's always room for seconds. Especially knowing you guys. You guys eat a lot. We are adventurers after all. Can't go out on a good stomach. Alright, on a bad stomach.
So she brings it over to the table.
Yep.
All right. Noah, is Tucson gonna eat any of her food?
Yes, but I'm going to be switching the artisan bread with toast.
Okay.
I'm in the mood for toast.
Kelb, does Areem eat her food?
Sure.
Okay. Does Jade get up and come downstairs yet, Noah?
No.
Okay. Does Zephyr want to eat? He still doesn't have to, but he now does have a weird sensation of like, that might be good.
I will grab a couple pieces of fruit, and that's it.
Something's
Over
wrong
at the
with
table,
world.
or is
She
he gonna
baked
stay
something
over there?
stockable.
He's gonna go over and grab it off the table, and then just walk back to testing out his body.
Okay. For Areem, it's a very mediocre meal. He's like, oh, well, she used fresh fruit, so there's that. But the bread, the cheese and the meat are just cheese and meat. And the bread is a little stale. So it's kind of like a, yep, that's where it was going to be. But then when he gets a couple of drinks of his Everclear, if he decides that he'll be willing to drink his alcohol that she poured for him, the disgustingness quickly will fade away because he's having alcohol. He doesn't care too much anymore.
She's
For
learned that
Tucson-
dwarves like alcohol.
For Tucson, the toast made it where the whole meal now is just okay. None of it's really disappointing. For Zephyr, you get this new interesting sensation. Something that you had once before and lost, and then didn't have when you lost your memories, but now you've regained. You can taste.
Yep. Zephyr hit robot puberty. Robot puberty, you gain new senses.
I'm gonna try and hide any sort of reaction.
Roll a bluff. Tate, can you roll me a... Tate and Kelb, roll me a spot.
A what in spot?
Just roll a
18.
spot. 18? Okay. Kelb, can you roll a spot?
$10.
Alright. Both of you roll me a sense motive. Jared, what did you get?
21.
Okay. Tate, what did you get on your sense motive?
8.
Okay. Kelb?
5.
Okay. Miraculously, the person that did the alterations and the person that provided the food both noticed you eat it, but did not notice you make any kind of giveaway that you can taste food now. It affects you in no form or way other than you now know what stuff tastes like, so you can now appreciate good food and bad food.
You can know what that alcohol you've been tasting tastes like.
I had like some sense for the drinks. It's just now I get a more actual taste of it.
Right.
Before I understood what was good and bad. Now I can actually experience good and bad.
Right. It's kind of the idea of knowing what water tastes like and then actually being able to taste the difference between water from different places. You've now acquired the ability to taste that water tastes different in different places, essentially.
Real water shouldn't have a flavor.
That is not true.
Healthy water should have a flavor. Pure water doesn't have a flavor.
Good, healthy water. And also, whenever you go to places, make sure you drink bottled water, because you won't be used to the minerals of that area. It could mess your stomach up.
It's not that it messes your stomach up, Tate. It makes you have diarrhea. For
And
like
it's not the
days.
minerals.
Really bad.
Yeah, and it's
I've
not the
never
mineral.
had an issue.
And
He
it's
had a
really
buddy
not.
come down and it messed him up hard.
It's not really when you go to different places most of the time, Tate. Most of the time when I see things like that, it's going to other countries.
Again, never had an issue.
It doesn't have to be different countries. It's different regions, and it's the biology of the water and the stuff that's growing in it. And if you have decent immunity, then it doesn't really affect you.
Right.
It's more of a precaution for if it could affect you.
Right. No, when I said other countries, what I was meaning is like, you don't see it often. So most of the time when people say it, it's like, I went to Mexico and the first week, or not first week, the first like 2 days, I just kept pooping because of the water. It's like, well, okay. Anyway, so Naro looks at the group that's sitting here with some not there, and he goes, so, what's the plan now? He points at Avina. You have an appointment, but what about everyone else? What about the future?
I am the
repeat that?
future.
Well, you need to go do your meeting thing about representing your island.
Yep.
And whatever all of these individuals are going to do. But I'm curious what all of you intend to do in the future. What's your next step? You've now got a name to the city. They know you now as a savior of the city from the giant robot. So, what's next?
Roll. But
Oh, sorry.
That thing we dealt with yesterday.
oh, Gollum. Yeah,
I plan to build up the guild.
I plan to actually work on becoming an ambassador for my people, but that's gonna take getting in contact with them first. And possibly my parents, because strangest feeling, I know, that I've had it since I was a kid, but Berthros's parents aren't my parents.
He looks at you. Give me 1 second to roll. Roll me a sense motive, Tate. What'd you get?
I just love dropping a dice in the dice roller. 9.
Oh, you dead set believe him as he looks at you, mouth drops a gape, and goes, oh, no way. You two aren't related? You think he's being serious. You
I
did not pick up on
know!
the sarcasm.
No.
Shocking resemblance.
Well, I was more meaning as a joke, as sarcasm, because I could tell we're not, but I thought gnomes are brighter than that.
Roll me another sense motive.
I hate you. 15.
Alright, you see through this one. He goes, well, clearly you must have been wrong on that one.
R.
Oh, you picked up on the sarcasm this time. Well, fantastic. Anyway, I meant about future plans with your guild. Who's going to be your recruiter? You know, this area knows of you, but nowhere else does. There's still all those things out there in the world that need to be stopped.
Points to, for the recruiter, points to... What's his name? Tucson. I heard he's pretty good at that.
I mean, I can, but I also have to run the guild.
Right, well, this
Sure.
might be the time to think about what all of you are going to do. So that this way you have a set path to go down. You know, there's obviously random scenarios that pop up, like giant metal stone things that are attacking a city appear, or, I don't know, a portal opens and a demon pops out. But other than that kind of stuff, you might want to think about the path you're going to go down. Anyway, I'm going to go pack up some of my stuff. Out of game-wise, this is the DM stating that you guys have hit the point where you're going to have the time skip. You need to decide what you're going to have your characters do. This is going to be the end of tonight. But for next game, you guys have to decide what you wanted to do over the course of roughly about 1.5 to 2 years. In that time, your characters are able to go out and quest, are able to go out and recruit guild members are able to go and help with the making of your Meadows Guild area that you haven't started yet, which is basically you
And the
starting
Rainbow
your
Guild
own
area.
city. Going out and buying that, yeah. Although realistically, that's a very, very long trek away. So the whole point behind that would probably be more when you get the teleportation thing up and running.
Yeah.
But in short, it's deciding what you're going to do for roleplay wise, and depending on what you do for there, will determine what you get mechanically in terms of experience and or money. As well as more guild halls, more guild members, etc. When the game picks back up, and we've decided what everyone should get, the characters should all be at the same level. Level adjustments will obviously alter that. Just case in point, if you're a level adjustment 2 character, everyone else will be level 6, while your character is level 4, because that's how level adjustment works. But some people will have more experience than others, so some might be closer to 7, some might be closer to 5. It kind of depends. Same thing with money. Some will have more than others. This will also be then if you wanted a new character, when your new character will be starting up. So as an example, the Paladin, I think it was, Lamb, that you wanted to have come in.
Yep.
This would be you being able to say how he gets introduced. And then if you want to take over with him, saying what Perthros is doing and taking over the Paladin.
Right.
But this is the time skip. Where your characters have become renowned to the town.
So
Or your characters have been known
heart.
to the town, and you are now renowned. You are actual heroes. You are in charge of the guild, and you are now paving your way.
So this is the time skip. So my character of the heart would probably be this is where they come in.
This can be where they come in, yes. If you want Avina to head back to Animal Island and start up that little thing.
That will come eventually. I think Avina's going to stick around for a little bit to kind of...
Okay, then you have to decide what she's doing. Like, as an example, Noah is going to be playing Jade instead of Tucson. What Tucson is doing is he's going to become the new guild hall leader, which means he's basically staying at the guild hall and doing what Octominos did, which is waiting for anyone that
figurehead.
Well, not really a figurehead. What it is essentially, he's the guy that is in charge of all the members and decides if a member is being too unruly or not, decides if there's a really important quest and a specific team should do it, and so forth.
Yeah, I know.
You guys do technically need a new Claire, a new assistant. That's the front face of it, the friendly greeting person that does all the paperwork for Tucson.
Let's go find Claire.
She's probably on vacation.
That's probably not going to happen, Tate.
I know.
I took out all of my really OP characters for the most part and have it where they're just assistants show up.
I know.
Can I
All
go
right.
to
Random
sleep now?
bugbear. Owlbear. Random owlbear attacks.
Wait a minute, that's one of the things for World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
not-
Yeah, that's not an owl bear.
That's an
the
owl
close-
kin,
That's
isn't
a
it?
wild. That's a
Right,
wild kid.
but it's the closest thing to an owlbear that I can find.
That's fair.